Hello everyone, welcome to this Assetto Corsa video. In this video we're going to look at one of the special events. Now, I'm going to do a video on each of the special events. So obviously we've got the drag races, we've got the Lotus Cup, you can see there, Taste of the Ring. So we're going to go through all of them and I'll explain a few tips on each of them. But we're going to revisit the Supercar race first on Alien difficulty. We're in a 4-5-8, so I'm obviously going to pick yellow as I race in yellow, as everyone knows. And generally I'll just explain a few of the things or tips to try and beat the sort of special event. And you can see some of the settings there, so you can see I'm racing on Pro. There's some of the competitors, got M3s in there. The only real competitors there are 458s like ourselves, and then the MP412C. But yep, they're all the settings. You can see everything's off, so literally it's just me, the car, and trying to beat all the AI, which are on 100% opponent strength. So straight to the grid, and as you can see we're about to kick off. Now this is after 2 attempts at this. I think the first time I span, and then the second time I didn't make it, so obviously I was trying to build up the tips for myself as well. So as you can see there, we get a really aggressive start. You got to have a really aggressive start really just to get up to the 4-5-8 straight away. You got to be careful in that first corner. The AI are really unpredictable there, so do watch out for that. But the key strength, as you probably saw in my other Silverstone video actually, is the braking here. Now you can outbrake any of the AI cars. You're generally as a player going to be a lot stronger on the braking. So, and they're actually quite good on acceleration, so you do have to be careful of that as you exit the corner. See there, I'm really aggressive there, and that's going to be tip number 2. So we've had, tip number 3, we've had good start, aggressive braking, and the other one is just aggressive driving. So you saw my aggressive overtake there. If you don't do aggressive overtaking, the lead McLaren is just going to walk away with this race. That's what I found when I did a previous go, is that I got past everybody. I was being clean, I was being fair, I was trying to make it look realistic, but I couldn't get past them. So literally I had to restart and do this run. So you can see now I'm in the 3rd position. You want to be about 3rd or 2nd position at this point. You're really trying to get past this next McLaren so you can really race towards the front. Generally, I found that if you got past the opponents, they weren't going to come back at you. I did notice on my second go, the previous go, that the McLaren did come back at me because I overtook them on Hanger Straight, and he just got a better slipstream. But because of the braking phase, I managed to catch up. As you can see again, braking, I'm just automatically catching up in braking. But watch this McLaren pull away out of this corner there, and look at that, it just starts to pull away. So try and get in the slipstream, it'll just get you a bit more speed and allow you to keep some form of gap to the McLaren. So we're going to keep going now. It's got 7 gears this car, but you never hit 7th really. You got to be really careful on the brake, and you hit that car, you're just going to go straight off. So we're into 2nd place. Once again, aggressive driving is a big thing here. You've got to go for it. You've only got 5 laps, and if this McLaren up front can certainly start pulling a gap if you're playing with the cars behind, essentially. The problem with aggressive driving is you can make a lot of mistakes. So as I said, on the first race I made a mistake straight away. The Ferrari is very lively. You'll see me constantly counter steering just to stop the sliding basically, because you're going for it, you're dropping gears, you're hitting the high end of the revs. So you'll see a lot of sort of oversteer action, and then trying to counter that by steering into it, maybe coming off the throttle and going back on, just to try and keep the car going forward essentially. So once again, aggressive braking, that was one tip there that you just saw, and we managed to catch up quite a bit of ground. The whole point at this stage is to now try and sort of equal it out really, get behind the slipstream so you get enough speed, and then you can outbrake him going into corners. So we're about to head to Brooklands, and just point out a few braking zones there. I generally use the curb, start the curb there just to get a good braking phase. Now if you start forcing the ABS to work, I think this does have ABS, even though I was switched off, I think the game works in the way that if there's ABS on the car it will run with ABS. Not 100% on that, but you'll notice the ABS turns red. When it's red, that's when it's working, or something's happening in the car and it doesn't work as well, you're braking, so you've got to come off it a little bit. The ABS has got to be white and it'll brake stronger. So it's a nice little tip there for you. Generally for that corner there, I looked for the colour bands like I did in GT Academy. I looked for the changing colours, and I think it's the 2nd to last one, at the end of the 3rd to last one. And then coming into this corner, I dropped down to 4th occasionally. Stayed in 5th there because I got a bit of a slide on, so if I went to 4th there, the slide would have just been too extreme. I'd have lost more time. And as you can see, the McLaren's got better steering, so that's why he gets better exits. You've got to be aware of that. You just got to hope on the brakes that you catch up. That's where I found the most time anyway. For Stowe, I broke around the sign. You got to be careful though, because if you brake a bit after that, you're going to run really wide, and it's going to cost you loads of time. And as we come into the last corner complex, the sign again. I'm just trying to pick static signs, and as you can see, I nearly went into the back of the McLaren. So that shows you how powerful you are under brakes versus the McLaren. But then once again, it'll start to pull away, and you can see there the car just trying to oversteer, and I'm just counter steering ever so slightly. Once again, a little twitch there to try and catch it. Once again, if you've seen Top Gear, where James May's been taught how to race on the track, if you can predict the slide, which because I've done the race previous, I know how the car's going to react. I can sort of counter steer into it before it happens and catch up. So there's the move into this corner. Obviously, you've seen me in races do a lot of moves there, but you're just going to be so much stronger than the AI into that corner. And that's essentially it really. At this point now, it's just to try and back off on the aggressive driving a little bit, to try and make sure you bring the car home in first position to complete the first of the special events. Now, I won't bore you with the last 2 laps because literally it's just me pulling away at this point. As you can see in the rearview mirror, he's not catching now. It's all about just keeping that gap and just keep going forward. Good thing here, once you're in the lead, is maybe try a few different techniques. Try and brake a bit earlier and try and carry more speed through the corner, because you'll find in Assetto that that actually helps your lap times a lot more than being really aggressive like you can be in Gran Turismo. And that's quite a transition actually that I found. But anyway, yep, that's been Assetto Corsa and the first special event on Alien difficulty. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks very much for watching.